Well, time for some consequences. Tina Peters, a former county official in charge of elections in Colorado, has been found guilty by a jury of a charge of obstruction of government operations in relation to recordings she was suspected of improperly making of court proceedings that involved an associate of hers. The jury acquitted Peters on a charge of obstructing a peace officer evidently connected to her antagonistic reaction when interacting with police who were trying to take possession of an iPad seemingly believed to have harbored the recording. Portions of an affidavit associated with officers arresting Peters that were highlighted by a Colorado NBC affiliate noted that Peters got physical, kicking at one of the officers. Another cop on the scene evidently asked that Peters relax. "No," she allegedly said in response. Peters will be sentenced on the obstruction charge in April. Charges against her didn't end with this case. She was also criminally charged for her part in facilitating an attempt to copy local elections data, information that she then helped spotlight while attending a conference put on by election conspiracy theorist Mike Lindell, who somehow became among the most prominent figures pushing lies about what happened in the last presidential race. That was in August 2021, well after the 2020 elections took place, although the idea underlying actions by Peters and others trying and sometimes succeeding to breach local election systems elsewhere was to uncover evidence of the imaginary fraud Trump claimed was responsible for his loss. A similar incident unfolded in a Georgia jurisdiction known as Coffee County. In Colorado, it was alleged that Peters, who ran in the 2022 GOP primary for the role of Secretary of State but lost, was in coordination with an individual who used false identification to appear in person for planned updates to some of the county's machines. This individual was falsely identified as someone who in actuality was set to be a county contractor. Peters, meanwhile, was repeatedly barred from executing control over elections associated with her now former position. In Coffee County in Georgia, it was again local election administrators who had those conducting the copying efforts on site. Individuals involved were connected to Trump ally Sidney Powell, who was set to be receiving updates from someone at the helm of the tech company Sullivan Strickler, which joined the effort, besides its involvement in similar attempts at gathering info, including potentially both inside and outside established legal parameters, in other states, like Michigan.